Welcome back, Planeswalkers. Please be seated. Professor Theorix 6 here with another lesson in Magic the Gathering Arena. I do, for your sake, hope that you've gone to flipsidegaming.com and utilized the promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. We're not too late in the semester, and it is a fantastic deal for both the students and me, the professor. Today, we will be moving on to the next chapter in our mechanic series, the Upgraded Adapt. Anyway, woo! First and foremost, let me know if my audio seems incredibly weird. For whatever reason, my OBS is like reading the desktop audio is a lot lower than it usually was, so I had to like pump up the volume. I'm actually going to lower it just a tad. But yeah, so this deck is the upgraded Adapt deck, and just like some of the other decks, I found that a lot of the rares make this deck a lot more fun and also a lot better. Namely, Gruul Midrange is real good. So we're running 3 Opts. Opt is a nice way of making sure that we get the cards that we need on time. 3 Incubation Druids. We don't really need the ramp, but she is a decent card to have early on, and she does exist as a form of ramp, especially when we have access to things like Biomancer Familiar. 3 Growth Spirals, because sometimes we just have extra mana lying around when we want to adapt things end of turn or whatever. Maybe we want to do it in response to something, but our opponent doesn't do that thing, so we have a nice way of just drawing an extra card and or putting a nice land from our hand on the battlefield, kind of ramping us again. We are running 4 Growth Chamber Guardians because this card should always be run as a 4 in the decks it's in, because you fetch more of them. If you have a single Biomancer's Familiar, and then you play Growth Chamber Guardian on turn 3, you can immediately adapt it. And then the next turn, you can tap Biomancer's Familiar and adapt this dude again. I had a game where I had 2 Biomancer's Familiars and 1 Growth Chamber Guardian that got to like, I think it was 10 power before I finally flipped Hadana's Climb and killed my opponent. This card is great. It is a nice defensive option early. If you have nothing else to do, you can go ahead and adapt it to make it a 4/4 by turn 3, which is totally fine. And it is card advantage because of the fact that you're getting access to additional copies of this card. You do have to have the counter resolve on it, but still. 4 Biomancer Familiars. I initially started this at 3, but then I remembered this card's awesome. It's not really like played in the top decks, but if you're playing an Adapt deck, this card should be a 4 of. The fact that it's a bear already is totally fine, but it gives all activated abilities, not just adapt abilities, but it gives all of your creatures activated abilities 2 less to activate. Of course, it can't reduce like the mana cost, so this will always at least cost green, even if you have 2 of these out. But this means that you can utilize your mana so much more efficiently. If you have 1 of these out in a Sharktocrab, you can start doing this ability to a turn for tapping Biomancer's Familiar and tapping the same amount of mana you would have been doing for just 1 a turn. And that sort of tempo is fantastic. Additionally, as I kind of talked about already with Sharktocrab, you can tap it to make it so that you can adapt several times, not in the same turn, but over time you can continually adapt the creatures that already have 1/1 counters on it, which is really nice, especially if you have something like Hadana's Climb, but it puts out 1 counter instead of however many, like this is 3. So it puts on 1 counter for Incubation Druid, allows you to actually use the Druid, but Biomancer's Familiar allows you to make your Druid actually larger again. So this card is just top notch. Then we move on to some 3s. We're running 2 Shapers of Nature and 2 Hadana's Climb. The reason I'm running 2 and 2 here is because Shapers of Nature is really nice if you are in that really like super grind, and you definitely need to have access to some sort of draw. And then Hadana's Climb is more for a bursty thing where you just need to have an ability to kill your opponent kind of out of nowhere. The fact that it does just use your adapts early is really fine, so you can Incubation Druid into Hadana's Climb, and then next turn have, 7 mana? So you can have 7 mana on turn 4, potentially. So that's just a really nice thing to have. It activates all of our adapt creatures, which I guess is technically not very many, but still. For Wilderness Reclamation, and we're running this because Wilderness Reclamation is a fantastic card in this style of deck. We want to have the ability to continue deploying threats, but we want to make sure we can actually adapt those threats. So for example, if we have Wilderness Reclamation out, we're going to be able to cast Sharktocrab, even if we only have 4 mana, and then at some point during our opponent's turn, we can immediately adapt it, which is very, very helpful. And if we have those 4 lands, a Biomancer Familiar, and a Sharktocrab, we get to do Sharktocrab's ability twice on our opponent's turn, and then we untap for our turn, use it twice again. We have tapped 4 creatures, 2 of which aren't going to be able to, well, no, all 4 of them based on when we did it, aren't going to be able to untap during the next turn, and we can just get in with a shark that is a minimum in 8/8. That's so good. Yeah, Wilderness Reclamation also helps for, you know, casting one of these and then jumping into Frilled Mystic. It's just a great card. 3 Sharktocrabs. I'm still running 3 of these and not like 3 Zeganas or something, because I really like the ability of Sharktocrab to get 1/1 counters and then not only tap an opponent's creature but sleep it, so that it doesn't untap during their next untap step. That really gives you a nice amount of tempo advantage, so that even if you don't have access to Hadana's Climb right now, you can still get in for some damage, even if your opponent has 1 or 2 large creatures. I ended up beating a Bant deck that had a Lyra on board and 2 5/7 Wild Growth Walkers, because of the fact I was able to use Sharktocrab's ability like 4 times in a turn thanks to double Biomancer's Familiar. It was insanity, but the ability to just tap those creatures down is very helpful. Zegana, she draws you a card and she gives your adapt creatures triple, which is very helpful, and she adapts into an 8/8. I had a situation in the practice where I had, I think I had 1 Biomancer's Familiar, and I attacked with Zegana. They blocked with 2 3/3s, and I adapted her, and I was like, all right, well, both your creatures are dead. I still get through for some trample damage, and my Zegana is alive, so very nice. But the fact that she just kind of cycles, even if she dies quickly, is really nice. Frilled Mystic. We want to be able to counter spells. As you can see, we aren't running like any actual removal, so we want to be able to counter some things. Having this out with Wilderness Reclamation is obviously fantastic, but even if you just have something like Growth Chamber Guardian out, maybe you played Guardian on turn 3, you can hold up Frilled Mystic, and if they don't cast anything that you want to counter, you can go ahead and activate one of your adapt cards. So the flexibility of Frilled Mystic is very helpful, and for what it's worth, it can even come in and block in a scenario where you really just need the block. 2 Vivien Reids and 2 Hydroid Krasis, whatever. These are just kind of our endgame cards. Vivien Reid, I feel like I've played so many green deck to this point. Her +1 gives you land or creatures. We're running a bunch. We're running 23 creatures. Her -3 destroys nonsense that we don't want to deal with, and her -8 is game breaking. It's so good. I love it. Hydroid, it gains life, draws cards, and is a threat. It's helpful. This is our mana base. It's pretty simple. And of course, at the end of the video, I will go ahead and share with you my thoughts about... Okay, now that's a lot louder than it usually is. I don't know. My computer stuff is being weird. Anyway, at the end of the video, I'll talk about the cards that I'm not playing. I will start first with... I'm actually going to turn this back down. I don't understand why it was so bad earlier. Because now it feels actually loud. Huh. I don't know. This is a fine hand. We do want to make sure we can get at least 1 more mana. Preferably 2. But since our opponent is going first, and we definitely have this going for us, I think this is a fine hand. Anyway, we're not running Llanowar Elves anymore, because going from 1 to 3 is a lot less important. If you remembered back to when I showed the curve, the mana curve, we have a load of 2s and a load of 4s, but not very many 1s. I mean, we only have ops. Very few 3s. I think it was like 2, 2, and 3, I think. Let's see. Yeah, it's fine. So going from, Llanowar Elf into a 3-drop, not nearly as important as going from like a 2 into a potential, like, larger than 2. I don't know. So this is potentially just mono white flyers. All right, maybe I just went insane earlier, because now it actually seems loud. I don't understand anything about technology. I'm using different headphones because my headphones have been crackling when I put it in a device that is plugged in and charging. Yeah, so in my laptop when it's charging, and it's at the point where it has to charge like constantly in order to survive. In my laptop, it's crackly unless I unplug it. In my iPhone, it wasn't crackly, so I thought, okay, this has to be my charger's fault then. In my laptop, but it isn't. Do I want to Growth Spiral or do I want to play Growth Chamber Guardian? Growth Chamber Guardian doesn't really do anything because I would have to block and have this die, so I think I will just pass the turn. This deck does have an issue with removal, but yeah. But then I plugged in my phone when I realized it might have not just been the fact that I was connected to a device, it's the fact that it's connected to a charging device. So I plugged in my phone to charge it, and lo and behold, it started crackling. So I was like, okay, then I guess it has to be my headphones. I plug it into my my microphone that's connected to my desktop, and it crackles. So I was like, oh, yep, this is pretty much certain at this point. I need new headphones. So I took my girlfriend's headphones. I'm currently wearing pink headphones. My girlfriend's the type that really likes pink. So I'm using her headphones right now. And I just need to get those. Oh, this is bad. Okay, fine. So we are going to... We're going to play Hadana's Climb first. We're going to actually play Growth Chamber Guardian because... I think I'm going to play Hadana's Climb first. And the reason for this is essentially... I want to be able to immediately get this Growth Chamber Guardian out. So if I get a land, for example, then I can play this and have a 3-3. And then... Excuse me. After combat... I'll be able to play the other one if I get another land. So we are kind of getting mana screwed, but luckily our mono white player is not doing... Okay, I was going to say they're not doing too much. But they kind of are at this point. Not a land. Very unfortunate. I can play this, though. And it would be a relatively large, relatively sizable card, so... Yeah, I guess this is fine. I have a 4/4 that can block this, or block and trade with this. I'll probably end up blocking this, just for the fact that... this would be a 5/5 the following turn, and then I could block this profitably. This would be a... This attacks as a 4? Okay. So I could even block that as a 5/5. Yeah. Yeah, so I need to get new headphones. I'm also planning on getting a webcam at some point. I don't know if I'll actually start using it. But I plan on getting a webcam at some point. I plan on getting maybe a new microphone. I'm not entirely sure. I've gotten some nice recommendations. I need a web, or not a web, whatever. Okay, this is going to be 10 damage. Sure, I'm not going to block. I'm going to be incredibly scared, but I'm not going to block. Ow, ow, ow. So if I get a land, thank you very much. I can go ahead and play... Yeah, I mean, I pretty much have to play this. Oh no, I can play Sharktocrab. Give it a +1/+1 counter. So it's on 5, and I can keep... Wait, what is this attached to? This guy? Okay. The problem is the Falcon. I will need Vivien Reid soonish. So I actually think that Sharktocrab's the correct choice here. Because it'll stem the bleeding a little. Oh no, darn, I'm still dead. I should have growth. Yeah, that was just dumb of me. I'm sorry about that. I forgot that he has enough creatures. Yeah, it should have been Growth Chamber Guardian. Put a counter on Growth Chamber Guardian. So let's keep this down. Oh no, no, it's fine. Because I have 2 blockers. Yeah. Okay, no, so I am fine. But I feel as if if I Growth Chamber Guardian, I'd have a 3/3, a 4/4, and a 2/2. So it's probably not great. Yeah, I'm not sure. My opponent probably has what is the word I'm looking for? Conclave Tribunal? Let me see the Tribunal. Yep, goodbye. I just realized they might have been dumb and targeted Hadana's Climb, but I don't expect that. Also, I do think that was my first loss with this deck, actually. I'm pretty sure I did 5 games. I have to think. Did I lose to something? Darn, I don't remember. I don't think so. I legit don't. I'm fairly certain that was my first loss. Because I came home late because I was doing math homework with my my psych cohort, and we're not even done. So after I finish recording, I have to do more math. I mean, for what it's worth, like it's not awful. I don't know if I'd say I enjoy it, but like doing math is really calming for me, because it's just numbers, man. I mean, this is a fine hand. You know, we have 2/3 into this. And if we don't have to cast this, we can put a 1-cone counter on Incubation Druid. So yeah, I think this is a totally fine hand. Gonna start off with the Forest. Eradicus Maximus, good name. My opponent thinking long and hard about if they're gonna keep. Well, Radicus, whatever. Don't be a punk. Go ahead and keep a bad hand. I dare ya. I double dare ya. Do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do ya? Hey, I gotta know. And then he like shoots the no, he didn't have it. The other guy had a shotgun. He shoots it. He shoots his handgun in the air. And I think he was out of bullets. But, dude, what hell? How could this happen to me? I'll be better when I'm older. I'm connected to the internet. I'm actively browsing Reddit. I feel like I got disconnected from Arena though. Well, this thing finally came up. Just gonna start talking banter then. Let's see. Darn, no, I actually had something that I felt like I wanted to talk about today. Crap. I'm a broken person. Oh, dude, bro. Let me know in the comments down below if you played Hollow Knight. And if you haven't, what is wrong with you? Freaking Teen Cherry finally put out that on Valentine's Day. And my girlfriend is actually going to be out with her mother on a vacation. I'm going to be able... Well, not I'm, but we're going to get some info on the Hornet DLC. And ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited to watch people play it because I don't freaking have the time. Thought Erasure. I assume they're getting rid of Frilled Mystic. Man, I gotta go against Control. I'm just trying to play memes, man. I just want to play memes. Yep, that's what I expected. Gone. Sharktocrab. Play this. I guess we'll Shapers of Nature and just opt end of turn. Man, that's unfortunate. I just love the situations where I practice with a deck. It just does perfectly every time. That's probably going to be a problem. And then I go up against decks and I just lose. Ooh, well, that's actually not that great. Because of the fact that they have a Thief. So this might be stupid, but I'm going to drop the Frilled Mystic. Another opt and... Huh. I'm trying to think if there's a way for me to do this. You know, I'm actually going to try and opt first. Breeding Pool, don't need it. Zegana, I mean, that's fine, but I don't get anything out of it. I guess I could just play Sharktocrab now. I mean, there shouldn't be anything in our deck. Yeah, I'll get in for some damage. There shouldn't be anything in our deck that is terrifying to see against a Thief of Sanity, like, tempo-y control deck. I'm curious why they're running... Oh! They might actually... Oh, Radicus. They might be playing my Steal Your deck. Thought Erasure, Thief of Sanity, Hostage Taker, all of those cards were in my Steal Your deck. Crap! I might be getting played by my own deck. Fudge. I can put a counter on this for 4 and cast Zegana. Fudge. Everything is bad. Draw cards, not a great card. I mean, I'll attack, I guess. They're probably not going to block it. I wonder if they're going to play Sharktocrab at all. Huh. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Shapers of Nature since I have another one. I like the ability to have that extra mana. Ow. This is unfortunate. Blue-green, not the best at removal. You could run what, incubation incongruity? Oh, I wonder what he got then. Okay, so I can start forcing their Thief of Sanity to F off. I have no idea why you would ever tap it like that, you stupid game. I love how the game just forces itself to tap Incubation Druid first. That's so strange. But we need to do this on my opponent's turn. I mean, I'm gonna keep attacking. And the reason we do that on our opponent's turn is because they would untap on their turn, so. Discard's a card. Alright, sure. Goodbye, Shapers of Nature. Playing your own Sharktocrab, I see. That's fine. Two attackers. No thanks. God, I still hate that freaking sound effect, dude. It's gross. It's real grody. Sure, I'll play this island. Double blocks, alright. I'm obviously not going to give them freaking Hostage Taker back. That's the stupidest thing ever. I want to chunk them for 8, yeah. I guess, honestly, I probably should have attacked with Incubation Druid as well. Yeah, no, I should have. Yeah, darn. That was an oops on me. They can get back a load of things. I assume they're just going to get back a Sharktocrab. Yep. They still can't, like, activate it. They don't have green mana. So they need to have something. Or else they do still die to Zegana. She looks so bored. I feel so bad. She got usurped by a ooze lady. So, I assume they have something like Contempt. I mean, Contempt would just be awful. What? No! Stop! Why are you trying to make me tap her? Reclamation does essentially nothing. I legit think that that early on Thought Erasure hurt. Crap. We're probably dead. We're definitely attacking here. If they double block, they live. Because this is 7. So I think I'll attack here. But I'm pretty much dead if they have like any form of removal that can hit Zegana. So yeah, I'll go and attack. Yep, here it is. Dream Eater. Cool. I get it. Oh, of course not. I feel like I should concede. If I saw exactly this happening, I would have not attacked with the Incubation Druid, obviously, because then I would have been able to play Zegana again. But I've not seen this. You know everything in my hand. I don't understand why you did that. Alright. I'll see what I draw, but this is probably it. Some people might have said that was just a stupid attack, but I think you're incredibly wrong because of the fact that I would have had to have predicted specifically Dream Eater. For what it's worth. Yeah, Biomancer from here does nothing here. Ugh. I mean, I was trying to win, so. Can I please get, like, whole game? I won 5 in a row. Lost 2 for the recording. Come on. Queen DDD. Already huge respect. Sure, this is actually fine. We're going first so we can growth spiral out something, a land. Hopefully we get another land and we can play this on, what, turn 3? It's turn 2. Math hard? Something like that? I don't know. This turn 1, this turn 2. Yeah, if we draw land, we can play this out on turn 3. And we can follow it up with like a Sharktocrab. Oh, heck yeah, bud. We'll go and play this. Go and pass the turn. Going up against red-green. Probably Gruul Aggro. Gruul Midrange, I should say. Oh. Maybe this is like teamer counters? It's making me think that, but it could just be Gruul, Gruul like midrange. I think those two cards are still played in that deck. Alright, we don't need this many lands, please. Then you... Oh, yes. So I can do this, and then next turn, I can actually Biomancer Familiar and Shapers of Nature. Oh, and this costs 2 less too! Oh, so I can actually do both of these counters twice. Or I could Shapers of Nature to draw a card. So good. Let's see what my opponent does. Alright, another red source. Incubation Druid? Sure. I don't care about that. My opponent might think I'm an awful person, but it's fine. Actually, I now think it's more correct to at least Incubation Druid. Do I want to Familiar first? Or do I want to Shapers first? Let's see. So if I play this, I can tap a green. This would cost me 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but I have to tap to activate this. This is more... No, this is more mana efficient, but I actually think it's better to do... I don't know. I do think it's technically better to do this. Oh, no, darn. It's fine. I meant to hold. But it's fine. I can still just adapt normally. I'm going to have all of the mana. Shapers of Nature is going to help me draw a bunch of cards. Sharktocrab is going to help me not deal with what I assume is going to be like a Phoenix or something. No? Alright. I'll take 3 damage. I don't trust that they don't have some sort of trick to kill one of my creatures, so I'm going to wait till the end of their turn and activate Incubation Druid. Don't you dare. Alright. I was about to say don't you dare target my Familiar. Yeah, sure, yeah, whatever. A land and a register. Okay, yeah, this is just Gruul Midrange. A lot of dorky creatures. Alright, let's go ahead and adapt this, please. Thank you very much. And we're going to have a bunch of mana on my turn. I'm going to go ahead and put a... Oh! Let's go ahead and play this. I'm going to play this with this. This, like, draws me more cards. But this is a little bit better for just holding my opponent's stuff down. So I think I'll play this. Let's go ahead and pass. Pass. No attacks. End turn. Triggers. That results. Tap all this mana. Actually, don't technically think we need to, but I'm still going to do it. Let us go ahead and actually, like, keep their Incubation Druid tapped, just so they don't get extra mana. And then I will activate this. Why did I do that? I'm gonna cancel that. Oh no, that does work. I'm dumb. Will you leave him alone? Incredibly rude. Let us... Do we want to, like, force their hand on mana? Nah. Go ahead and do that, I guess. I'm hoping the audio is not too loud. This does mess me up a little. But Shapers of Nature are still going to be pretty dope. Come on, attack me. Do it. Come on. Come on. Hit me. Come on. Do it. Opt? I will opt on my main phase because of the amount of... Ooh. Heck yeah, bud. I'll Vivien Reid. I can't do both, though. Is Vivien Reid better here? No, I think Shapers of Nature is better. Oh, right. Gotta go and put a stop on here. I'm gonna do this. Next. Next. No attacks. Tap this. Enter. Yes. Results. Oh, I messed that up. Oops. It's fine. Shouldn't actually matter. So I'm going to use this. Stop. Stop making me do this. I'm going to use this. Put a counter on my Sharktocrab. Go ahead and keep that tapped. And then I'm going to resolve that. And make a blue. Resolve this. Boop, boop. And boop. And do this. Do this. Do this. And do this. Alright, cool. And I can still do more if I need to. I can also just draw a card. My plan is to just draw a card at the end of my turn from Sharktocrab. And then next turn, start beating my opponent to death. Wilderness Reclamation is so good in this deck. I'm hoping if they do ban some stuff, that they ban Nexus and not Wilderness Reclamation. Because Reclamation is fun. Carnage Tyrant. Aw, good thing we have an 8/8. Come on, attack me. What are you waiting for? What a loser. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and minus. So we can draw. Actually, you know what? Since we have access to Vivien Reid anyway, and that's probably what we're going to play, we're actually not going to do that. We're going to give Sharktocrab another +1/+1 counter. Target this. Oh, another Sharktocrab. Not bad. Will you stop doing this, please? It's so frustrating. Alright, we're going to go in Vivien Reid. And we're going to go in plus.
Come to me.
Ooh, Biomancer familiar. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Being able to start, like, using this for cheaper is real nice. Gotta once again put a stop on my end step. So I can utilize... No, I don't want to attack yet. Right, because I want to be able to block this so that Vivien survives. Bit of a grindy game, but that's fine. This resolves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add a counter. You stay tapped. Add blue. I don't think I need to use this again. Yeah, might as well. I'm actually no longer afraid of these. I just want to not let them ramp anymore, so that's fine. So I have a nice 11/11. And next turn I'll be able to do even more nonsense. Bit of a slow grind, but I mean, I'm grinded with the best of them. I guess Gruul Midrange isn't technically the best of them, but man. Sure. Feel free. You have 1 mana open? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so I think here we're gonna draw a card. Well, ain't that interesting?
The wilds are my shield.
Sure, don't mind if I do. Let's go ahead and... Will you please stop that? Oh, we're probably gonna have to use her anyway. That's fine. You know what? I'm actually realizing that it's better to use her. But whatever. Alright. Do that. Then Biomancer's familiar. Then... So I would have been able to activate... Yeah, it's... Yeah, alright, cool. We got a win. Technically, that was only 1 win in the video, and, you know, we're already at 35, but gosh dang it, I really love this deck. And I technically only lost 2 games today out of 8. So I really want to show more of the deck. Because, God, the deck is so fun. Like, I'm going to make Temur +1/+1 counters at some point, which is, you know, essentially like Growth Chamber Guardian, Riot, a lot of great Riot cards, a lot of great adapt cards, because I think that deck would be awesome. Why do you hate me? We're running 23 lands, but you know we have Incubation Druids and Growth Spirals, so I do have to mulligan. I think this is fine, but opt into like Growth Spiral or something. Another Biomancer familiar. I want to keep it, but I need an adapt creature, I think. So we are going to go and take 2 life and just pass turn. Thoughtbound Phantasm. Alright. Looks like we're going against the Surveil deck. This might be hard, depending on the amount of discard that they have. Ooh, Hadana's Climb. Yeah, I mean, I like the card. Hadana's Climb is decent. Gonna go and play this. Going to, do I want to Biomancers or do I want to Growth Spiral? I think I want to Biomancers. Because I don't want them to make me lose my Biomancers from a Thought Erasure. I do think next turn I will Hadana's Climb if I don't get Thought Erasered here, but... Okay, cool. Discovery. That is fine with me. Hadana's will make this a 3-3, but that'll already be a 3-3, so I still can't attack with it, but it makes my Biomancer feeling a little bit more... Ooh, okay. A little bit more threatening overall. Another Growth Spiral, decent. But I do want to get this out. Next turn I'll be able to double Growth Spiral, which is nice. Go and put a counter on that, and pass the turn. So next turn this will be a 4-4. Can double up on Growth Spirals. Deep Sandy, that card is always annoying. But I can actually use Hadana's Climb reactively, so let us main phase Growth Spiral, see if we can get something good. That honestly is pretty decent to have. Oh wait, really? Can I still just play this already? Oh, that's odd. Alright, cool. Do this. I can play this for my turn. Next. And I will attack. I'm fairly fine with them double blocking here. Because I get to kill Thief of Sanity, so I'm totally fine with this attack. Yep, alright. Okay, so we're gonna need to... I'm hoping... I need my opponent not to Thought Erase me. Or, like, Disinformation Campaign or anything like that. And I did take that risk by playing the other land. So I guess knowing that exact thing, I shouldn't play the other land. That was definitely a whoops on my part. But I can start using Hadana's Climb, like, reactively. It costs, what, 4 total lands? So I wouldn't actually be able to here, but my plan is to kill this. Fudge off. I got my Wilderness Reclamation. Damn it. So I'll go and play this. I will play Vivien Reid. I will murder you. No, they have, of course they Wilderness Reclamation into a counterspell. Awesome. I love it. I just wanted to have fun. Man, that was probably the best get they could have gotten. That's so frustrating. Wow. Nah, we're done. I mean, you live by the Wilderness Reclamation, you die by the Wilderness Reclamation. Unfortunately, of course, that does mean that, yeah, wait, I went 6-9, or 6-3, sorry. 6 out of 9. I do hate not being able to show you guys the winning games, but, you know, I can't do anything. I mean, I could theoretically just start recording when I practice, but I don't have the ability to edit right now. Also, I forgot I was eating while I was editing, or eating while I was practicing, so getting a lot of gems from this. Just a lot of gems. All right then. Sure. And then I do want to touch briefly on the sideboard cards. So I'm actually going to go in this mode and this. All right, so I talked about Land of Elves already, but I just re-show the graph. So I don't need to go from 1 to 3 because I have very few 3-drops. So it's just so not needed to have Land of Elf. Anticipate is a fine way to potentially draw more cards, but, you know, we already have too many 2-drops. Radical Idea, same as Anticipate. Thorn Lieutenant, it's just not as good as the other ones. Repudiate Replicate is something I thought about having, but I just felt that I already needed to have a good board state with Replicate, and Repudiate required very specific circumstances, so I would prefer to just not have it. You could have, like, you could make an argument for hitting things like Wilderness Reclamation for a turn, but I think if your opponent has, like, an active Wilderness Reclamation, you can't do much. Jaylight Ranger and the other Explore package, like the rest of the Explore package, I thought were, like, good for this deck, and if you want to make this deck, you know, better while still having some semblance of the deck, you can add those, but you do have to take out a large portion of the actual adapt cards. Airy Monkless, I took out from the budget version. It's just not needed. Shapers of Nature, I cut down a little bit. If you want, you can have more of them, but they do require a little bit more of an active board state. Herald's Extremes, it's not really needed in the full deck. Prime Super Zegana, as you can see, we don't actually have very much of a toolbox to deal with, so I'm just going to make a Zegana Vanifar. I think I said Prime Seeker Zegana, awkward. I'm just going to make a Vanifar deck. Biogenic Ooze, I've already made an actual Ooze deck, and this doesn't actually have Adapt, so I was like, eh. Trollbred Guardian took it out because it's not necessary. Galloping Lizrog, very similar. Theoretically, you could try and include... I mean, you could include black for removal, because that is kind of what the deck is losing out on, but at that point, you might as well just be playing Sultai midrange, which is just technically better. But I really do enjoy making these mechanic videos, because I think they really shine a spotlight on more cards than what people see in just normal, everyday meta decks. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed, and I would like to thank my lovely patrons, especially Salamander Drawer, for their continued support. If you'd like to join them supporting the channel, find links to that in the description below, along with links to the Discord server. People who are so active on there, if you need deck advice, you can hop into one of the rooms. If you want to, like, get in some games with like-minded people, you're like, hey, I want to play this style of deck. It's not meta at all. Can you not play a meta deck? You will find people, like, daily, like, not 24/7, but for the most part, like, around the clock, who will actually play with you. I really do suggest more people check out the Discord. And then, of course, Aether Hub, where I host all of my deck lists. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your poll, and cast a comment to the comment section down below, and then pass the turn to your friends. Pass the video to your friends. I don't know how to say that. Share the video. Yeah, and until next time, all will be one.